Hey Google, restart video.
Hey everyone, Scott Ennis, voice actor, Hollywood actor, movie star. Don't believe all that. I'm a legend in my own mind. Hey, you know me better as the voice of some of the most popular cartoon characters in the world. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Scrappy-Dappy-Doo, Puppy Tower, Blank and Shaggy too. And you got the Sullivan Project podcast coming at you right now.
Hey Google, stop. Hey Google, turn your volume to 50%. Hey Google, turn your volume to 50%. Hey Google, stop. It's acting up again. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sullivan Project podcast. I'm your host, Harold Sullivan, having some more technical difficulties with electronics. Like I said, everyone has a story, and you can't judge a book by its cover. And I may not be out there doing, certain things, but I got my own trials and tribulations just sitting here. I was born blind. I was born with an autoimmune disease. I just went blind a couple of years ago, and I wasn't supposed to make it long. And I'm 45, just turned 45. So this podcast is to help people. We all go through stuff. You meet somebody or you see them, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know their whole history, everything, all how just everything is linked together, all their emotions, memories, and you just judge them on that second. And I like to say, I'm not the judge, just a messenger. That's one of my Sullyisms. But in the last couple of days, my audio recorder batteries ran out. Then it ended up being full. So that's twice I couldn't use it. And then I tried to record a podcast, and somehow the camera got turned on to slow-mo. So there was no sound. It was just audio or just video. And then it's just, oh my gosh. And I had deleted all the notes. So I lost them all. And then my audio recorder, we were going through some of the clips and listening to them and deleting old ones. And my sister accidentally deleted like almost 200 that were on there still. So I got it like the last couple of years, or at least a year or so, probably worth of stuff that's on there. So I don't know. But I just had to like take 1 second, not even get upset really, just kind of let go. I'm writing the book and writing things, songs. There's probably dozens of songs on there maybe. Because I was channeling and stuff. And I've been doing all that, and even more since I lost my sight. And if you want to, check out previous episodes of the podcast and come along on this journey with me, like I said, everyone has, something. They have a story. We're all projects, so that's why this is called the Sullivan Project podcast. And if you want to find out how I came up with that name, go check out YouTube, Harold Sullivan 78. TikTok, Harold Sullivan 78, and Facebook, Harold Sullivan period 35. And you can call the show 724-513-1472. And then you can email hs1978-2015 at outlook.com. And thanks to Scott Ennis again for the Scooby-Doo intro for the podcast. He's a voiceover, cartoon voice artist, a wizard, He does so many voices. And we've actually had other cameos, guest cameos on the podcast. Check them out if you want. And you can be on here, audio or video. Like I said, sometimes we have problems. I may go back to just doing live on YouTube, but then I got to have someone come down and hit the button because I can't see and I can barely move my arms and legs and hands and just, But our pain is our strength, not our weakness. So when you complain, it's not a negative thing. Empathy is often considered a weakness, but it's not. And love is the strongest frequency. You got to try to keep up there all the time, and then things will just, But as soon as you get low, and it attracts. Like attracts like. and then you get piled on like the last few days. I had to just sit and be like, wow, just stuff is just piling, because I've been working on all these. I'm just trying to help. I swore to God and I swore to hire whoever, whatever you believe in, or just believe in you. But all is one, I like to say. These are all Sullyisms. Everything is always for something. Uh, that's what I was thinking of yesterday. Everything is always for something. Right? But after I lost my sight and I was very depressed, I didn't want to live anymore. And I quit breathing like 20 times that night. And I have sleep apnea, but I don't use a machine. I never could. It was just too much air. So when I went and got tested at the hospital, I tried that machine 5 minutes, and then the doctor's like, as long as you sleep, get enough sleep, you'll be okay. But I don't just fall asleep like that. I actually have problems sleeping. But when I sleep, I knock out and I go into a trance sometimes, and that's when I have these visions, and you know, people that passed on come to me, and it's. But I told the higher power that I would do whatever I could the rest of my life to help people in any way, and then I started with the idea of a book, so I'm trying to work on that. But I don't have people can sit around and just type and just do all this stuff for me all day every day. It's me and my sister helps me and my brother-in-law, but they got other things. They got life. So, but today we're going to talk about see here, best fan films, best movie remakes, which there really isn't many, and then movies based on books. So I've been putting together brackets and lists. These are just lists right here. Not really a bracket, but the rest. Uh, there's some other brackets like trilogies and best boogeyman, and go check them out. I appreciate that. We like if you hit the friend button, the share request, uh, like, comment, whatever. Just give us some good love. Yeah, love's a choice and so is the hate. So let's get to these thingies here though. Alexa, what are my stickies? This is how I
Okay.
this is how I take time and take notes the last couple of years and listen to music. And I'm actually in my 10th time through the audio Bible now, and I've listened to several hundred audio books. So I just all day, every day, I'm soaking my brain with stuff. Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found
And I thank
19
God I have a
notes.
brain and a voice.
First note, Elm Street Remake Rebels 3 mashup. Second note, World's Finest Troops Cardboards Freddy vs.
Okay.
Ghostbusters.
Alexa, stop.
Ghostbusters Return.
Yeah, I remember. Most of these are pretty old, though. The newest one, I think, is Elm Street, the remake one. I don't know what the name of it or who did it, but if you check them on YouTube, you'll find these. And it was probably around the early 2000s. It was before the actual remake came out, and it was pretty good. It actually had black characters, which is different because back then at this time, like nowadays, they're actually doing horror films, uh, but it used to be just white people in the past. You know what I mean? That's just not realistic because there's everybody and there's all different kinds of people. So uh, I like it when it's a serious horror movie that has people acting serious like in real life. So, but this was good because uh, Freddy looked different. He looked good though, and he had like fire on him in little spots, like he was just came out. He was smoking a little bit, and it was a real short 2 or 3 minute, but it was called a Nightmare on Elm Street remake trailer, and it was different. And the guy who played Freddy, the makeup looked really good too. It didn't look bulky and chubby like most of the fan films or even the movies do, because they got to put that appliance on the face and stuff, and you got to be really thin to look normal, even with the gloves and all that, and the stuff they wear under there. Like you got to be a thin actor because when you put all that on, it makes you look bulky. So Robert Englund would have looked chubby as Freddy if he wasn't thin and then had the makeup on and the glove and all that. It would have just been look. It would look. So they got to think about all that when they're doing that. So that was Elm Street remake, and then there's called Gremlins 3 mashup, and it was somebody did a fan film, and they actually went and got castings of the real puppets and made the puppets again, the Gremlins, and CGI, like they, or not CGI, but they used green screen and they hand puppeted it so it looked real, like in the real ones. It looked better than any CGI would now. And they actually had they took scenes from old movies, right, and they made this like it was a DVD insert where the Gremlins were going into old movies like The Exorcist and Indiana Jones and Batman. And if you watch it, it's called Gremlins 3 Mashup. And when I saw it the first time years ago, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Some dude spent literally thousands of dollars with this little company just to prove that it could be done and that a Gremlins 3 could be done. And it would be funny. And it was just a guy doing a fan film. So then there's one called Raiders, which actually was made over like 20 or 30 years. And it was made by a bunch of kids who were fans of the Raiders of the Lost Ark. But they were making it as they were getting older. And they were making it with their own money. I mean, they were kids and they were lighting their basement on fire and stuff. So check this out, Raiders. It's called Raiders. Alexa, what are my stickies?
Okay.
Alexa, what are my stickies? Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 19 notes.
Okay.
First note, Elm Street Remake Rebels 3 Mashup.
Okay.
Second note, World's Finest Troops Cardboards Freddy vs. Ghostbusters Ghostbusters Return.
Okay.
Third note, Raiders High Cologne Friday the 13th Legends
Okay.
Batman vs. Predator.
Let me go back.
And fourth
Alexa,
note,
stop.
Psycho Help.
Raiders, I put it. Alexa, what are my stickies?
Your last note was
Alexa,
Elm Street
stop.
Remake Rebels.
Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 19
It was
notes.
about to lead them. These things
First
are
note,
crazy.
Elm Street Remake Rebels 3 Mashup.
Okay.
Second note, World's Finest Troops Cardboards Freddy
Alexa,
vs.
stop.
Ghostbusters.
Okay, World's Finest is another one. It was uh, Justice League before Justice League. So this was years ago. Again, maybe late 90s or so. I'd say early 2000. But it was like high budget. It even had some Hollywood actors in it. And a guy made it. A fan had money, and a company, and it's called World's Finest. It's got Superman in it. It's got uh, yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but it looks really good. It's like movie quality. And then we got two of them called Star Wars ones. One's called Troops, and it's basically a cops ripoff, and it's the troops, the stormtroopers, and it's like it's neat. And they're on, I think, Tatooine, and there's Jawas and a couple other things going on, and it's called Troops. I don't know if there's any more episodes, but the pilot is the only one I checked out. And then there's one called Park Wars, which was South Park with Star Wars, Phantom Menace mashed together. And these fans took a couple of years, and they were going to do it full length originally, and I don't know how they'd ever do that when they had to animate that. But it ended up being just a few minutes, more like a 6 or 7 minute, or maybe longer, but a long rock video kind of. But they had the voices from the movie, and then they had animation and some South Park voices, and they had it all mashed together like it was neat. So, Alexa, what are my stickies? And that's called Park Wars. Oh, I got the other two. Okay. Alexa, stop. Okay, Freddy versus Ghostbusters. That's Braxton Films. I do remember that because they had a couple, and that was one of their first ones. And it was the Ghostbusters, a different branch of Ghostbusters. And this is way before they did the women Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters Afterlife. And basically, the plot was Freddy was in this mattress haunting it. That's what they figured out. But they went in a dream and they fought Freddy and they tried to get rid of the Ghostbusters. And then they did, it was maybe a 45-minute fan film. Then they did a full length hour and a half or so, Return of the Ghostbusters or the Ghostbusters Return. And it was really good. It was movie quality CGI, good quality acting, people you didn't know. And again, these are fan films. And it was a different branch. It was like the Chicago Ghostbusters. So check that out too. Alexa, what are my stickies? These are all fan films.
I found 19 notes. First note, Elm Street Remake.
Elm Street Remake, Gremlins 3 Mashup.
Note, World's Finest Troops Cardboards.
World's Finest.
Ghostbusters.
Troopers.
Return.
Freddy vs. Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters Return.
Friday the 13th Legends. Batman vs. Predator.
Alexa, stop. Okay, Friday the 13th Legends. This Jason looks like kind of a part 7, and the guy playing him, he does the Kane Hodder movements a little bit, but it's probably about as good as the effects and acting as the original Friday the 13th. And it's just fans, maybe 4 or 5 of them, and then a couple other people here and there. And they actually made a fan film, and it's called Legends. And then Never Hike Alone. It's a shorter film, but it's really good. It has good effects, and you don't really see much and hear much, but when you do, it's called Friday the 13th. Never Hike Alone. It's it's good, and it's about a guy who basically just goes off to try to find out about the legend of Jason, and ends up at the abandoned lake and finds these things, and it's very good. And then you have Batman versus Predator, which of course explains it all. It's a short fan film, but the effects, I mean, the suits and everything are movie quality. And I think the Joker even makes an appearance in there. So check that out. Alexa, what are my stickies?
Okay,
Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 19 notes. First note, Elm Street Remake Rebels 3 mashup. Second note, World's Finest Troops Cardboards Freddy vs. Ghostbusters Ghostbusters Return. Third note, Raiders High Cologne Friday the 13th Legends Batman vs. Predator.
I think that's
And
all.
fourth note, Psycho Halloween Night of the Living Dead
Alexa,
Texas
stop.
Chainsaw.
Okay, now we're going into best remakes, and most of them are horror. And again, write in or call in if you can think of any that are not that are good. Okay. See, Psycho. Vince Vaughn started a remake of Psycho, in case people didn't know. Anthony Perkins was the original. Norman Bates. Alfred Hitchcock, Psycho. And what else here? Alexa, what are my stickies?
Okay.
Let's see, I'll do them if I can remember. Night of the Living Dead. Tony Todd, who played in Candyman and Final Destination. He was in a remake of Night of the Living Dead. George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. And then we got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which actually had a prequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre Beginning. So we got that one. We got Texas Chainsaw. We got Psycho. We got Night of the Living Dead. We got The Hills Have Eyes, which was a decent remake. And then we have Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 19 notes.
We're doing best
First
remakes
note,
now.
Elm Street Remake Rebels 3 mashup.
Well, these
Second
right here
note, World's
are
Finest
best fan
Troops
films.
Cardboards Freddy vs. Ghostbusters Return. Third
Yeah.
note, Raiders High Cologne Friday the 13th
Yep,
Legends
these are fan
Batman
films.
vs. Predator.
Okay.
And fourth note, Psycho Halloween Night of the Living Dead Texas Chainsaw by Bloody Valentine. The
Okay.
Hills Have Eyes.
Okay.
Would you like to hear
Alexa,
the next
stop.
one?
Halloween. Rob Zombie's Halloween. And of course, John Carpenter did the first one. My Bloody Valentine 3D, which was a remake with Jensen Ackles from Supernatural. Let's see. Alexa, what are my stickies?
Okay.
Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found
And again,
19
I said the
notes.
best remakes.
First note,
Not
Elm
too many
Street
remakes.
Remake Rebels 3
Remakes
mashup.
are usually horror. I don't know
Second
why.
note, World's Finest Troops Cardboards Freddy vs.
They're mostly horror
Ghostbusters
remakes, all.
Ghostbusters Return.
Or
Third
sci-fi.
note, Raiders High Cologne Friday
Yeah.
the 13th Legends Batman vs. Predator.
Okay.
And fourth note, Psycho Halloween Night of the Living Dead Texas Chainsaw by Bloody Valentine. The Hills Have Eyes.
Okay.
Would you like to hear the next four?
Yes, we got all those, I remembered. Yes.
Fifth note, Godzilla King Kong The Time Machine War
Okay.
of the
Alexa,
World.
stop.
Sixth.
And then we got these 4 more here. Godzilla, which has been remade several times. I'm not talking about the Matthew Broderick one. That was, I don't know what that was. And then we have King Kong. The one with Jack Black was okay. You know, and then the other one that came out after that with Samuel L. Jackson. And then you got World of Worlds with Tom Cruise, which is a remake. And actually is a book too. And then you have The Time Machine that had Guy Pearce, which was a remake, and that's a book, actually. So sci-fi and horror pretty much is the remakes. And then now we're going to get into best books, best movies off books, or best movie books, or whatever. Alexa, what are my stickies?
Okay.
Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 19 notes.
I'm not deleting them because I don't want
First
to
note,
lose them.
Elm Street Remake Rebels 3 mashup. Second note, World's Finest Troops Cardboards Freddy vs. Ghostbusters Ghostbusters Return. Third note, Raiders High Cologne Friday the 13th Legends
Alexa,
Batman
delete
vs.
Sticky.
Predator. Your last note was Elm Street Remake Rebels 3 mashup. Is that the one you want to delete?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I've deleted
I just
that.
recorded all these on the audio recorder. See, I'm not thinking clearly because of all the stuff lately. You got to stay down or you can't do what you got to do. Keep your level down, keep the energy normal, but keep things clear. It gets hard to all that stuff coming from outside. Jesus. Yeah, I just recorded all these on an audio recorder in case this thing doesn't work so I don't lose them and I'm sitting here not deleting them. And then y'all got to hear them over and over. But that's okay. You know what I mean? You can write down the list. Check out these movies. Alexa, delete Sticky.
Your last note was World's Finest Troops Cardboards Freddy vs. Ghostbusters Ghostbusters Return. Is that the one you want to delete?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I've deleted that.
Okay. Alexa, delete Sticky.
Your last note was Raiders High Cologne Friday the 13th Legends
We'll get into
Batman
the
vs.
books then.
Predator. Is that the one you want to delete?
Yes.
Okay, I've deleted that.
I'm hoping I don't even know if it's recording the camera or if it's on slow mo. So yeah, I gotta just chill. Like my hypersensitivity's been up lately. So that means everything is up. Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 16 notes.
Okay, now we'll get into the books here.
First note, Psycho Halloween Night
Well,
of
after
the Living
this.
Dead Texas Chainsaw by Bloody Valentine.
These are best
and Hills
remakes.
Have Eyes.
Alexa, delete
Second
Sticky.
note. Your last note was Psycho Halloween Night of the Living Dead Texas Chainsaw by Bloody Valentine. The Hills Have Eyes.
Best remakes.
Is that the one you want to delete?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I've deleted that.
Alexa, delete Sticky.
Your last note was Godzilla King Kong the Time Machine War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Is that the one you want to delete?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I've deleted that.
Okay, now we're getting into best books. Best movies off of books. Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 14
And I got a lot of them.
First note, Interview with a Vampire Rosemary's Baby Exorcist Ready Player One World War Z Cuckoo's Nest.
Alexa,
Second
stop.
Note.
Okay, Interview with a Vampire. It's Anne Rice. Of course, everybody knows about that movie with Tom Cruise and everybody else. We got Exorcist. That was a book. We got Rosemary's Baby. Exorcist was, what's her name? Linda Blair. Rosemary's Baby. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was actually a book. With Jack Nicholson, and he's in an asylum, which is a very good movie. Alexa, what are my stickies?
Okay.
Alexa, what are my stickies? Yeah, Cuckoo's Nest.
I found 14 notes.
If you think
First note,
it's probably...
Interview with a Vampire Rosemary's
If it was a good movie, it's probably a book.
Ready Player One World War Z Cuckoo's Nest.
Alexa, stop.
Second note.
Yeah, World War Z was a book. And then Ready Player One, and there's actually a sequel, Ready Player Two. I don't know if they're going to do a movie or not, but I've actually listened to the audiobook of Ready Player Two. So those are all books. And yeah, like I said, if you think of the best movies, they're usually books too. They were based off books. Alexa, delete Sticky.
Your last note was Interview with a Vampire Rosemary's Baby Exorcist Ready Player One World War Z Cuckoo's Nest. Is that the one you want to delete?
Yes.
Okay, I've deleted that.
These are all books. Movies are based off of books. Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 13 notes. First note, James Bond, Stephen King, Alice in Wonderland, Willy Wonka.
Alexa, stop.
Second note.
Okay, so we got Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp remade it, and let's see here. Well, I don't know if it was a movie. Or, yeah, what am I thinking here? We're not on remakes anymore. That wasn't good. We're on movies based off books. Anyway, Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp, and then I got so much in the head there. And then Willy Wonka, he was in there too. But that was actually a remake with Gene Wilder, was the original Willy Wonka. So we got that. And then we have Stephen King Has Some Money. I mean, Misery, Christine, Cujo, what else here? The Shining. I mean, just go on and on. They're all based off of Stephen King books and they're all movies. And then you have Alexa, what are my stickies?
Okay.
Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 13 notes.
Stephen King.
First note, James Bond, Stephen King,
James
Alice
Bond.
in Wonderland, Willy Wonka.
Alexa, delete
Second
sticky.
note. Your last note was James Bond, Stephen King, Alice in Wonderland, Willy Wonka. Is that the one you want to delete?
Yes.
Okay, I've deleted
I mean,
that.
I'm not sure. Casino Royale. There's so many of them. I think I don't know, but I've listened to the first three first three, they were all movies. The first three audio books. So James Bond, I think there's maybe in the teens in the books, or maybe even 20. And there's 20 something James Bond movies too, actually. But they're all based off of books, and the books are better as well, actually. Alexa, what are my stickies? Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 12 notes.
Okay.
First note, Psycho Jaws, Wizard of Oz, John Carter,
Alexa,
Godfather,
stop.
Die Hard.
Yep, Psycho was a book. And then they turned it into a movie. Jaws was a book, and then Stephen King picked it up. And it was actually based somewhat on a true story of a kid being attacked by a shark. John Carter, good movie. One of my coolest looking movies if you go check out that podcast episode. Those are books, those are series like The Wizard of Oz. And then, of course, The Wizard of Oz, there's like 20 some books there. So those are movies too, and books. Die Hard as well. At least the first two were based off, it's not called Die Hard though, but you can search it. Die Hard movies that were based off books. At least the first two were. The first one was like Nothing Lasts Forever, or it almost sounded like James Bond. And then the second one was like So Many Hours or something, I forget. Alexa, what are my stickies?
Okay.
Alexa, what are my stickies? And they're all books.
Your
They're all
last note was
movies.
Psycho Jaws, Wizard of Oz, John Carter, Godfather, Die Hard. Is that the one you want to delete?
No, I didn't even say delete it, you see? Maybe I did.
Okay, I won't delete that.
Alexa, what are my stickies? I thought I said what are my.
I found 12 notes.
Jeez, oh.
First note, Psycho Jaws, Wizard of Oz, John Carter, Godfather, Die Hard.
Alexa, delete
Second
sticky.
note.
Now we can delete
Your
it.
last note was Psycho Jaws,
Godfather.
Wizard of Oz, John Carter, Godfather, Die Hard. Is that the one you want to delete?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I've
Godfather was a book. And of course Marlon Brando's in there. Everybody knows about that movie. And actually Mario Puzo adapted it into a script to make a movie. And he actually was the one who wrote the Superman the movie script, Mario Puzo. So he was a good writer. I mean, it's like he wrote those two different things. Godfather and Superman. But he, of course, adapted the Superman from comic books. He just took stories and then made them into a script. Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 11 notes. First note, Divergent, Maze Runner, Hunger Games, Water for Elephants.
Alexa, stop.
Second note.
And then we got Divergent, of course. Hunger Games and Maze Runner. And then we got Robin Pattinson in Twilight. And then Water for Elephants. The Twilight series are books. All these are books. Alexa, delete sticky. They're all
Your
movies.
last note was Divergent, Maze Runner, Hunger Games, Water for Elephants. Is that the one you want to delete?
Yes.
Okay, I've deleted that.
Alexa, what are my stickies? It's amazing how I come up with
notes.
and remember most of this.
First note, Invisible Man, Wolfman, Titanic.
Alexa, stop.
Second note.
Okay, Invisible Man, Wolfman, of course. These are gone back. And Titanic, it's actually called Wreck of the Titan or other things, but Titanic was actually loosely based off a story, and it was a true thing that happened. It's eerie because the book of the Wreck of the Titan was written, and then like a year or two later, the Titanic crashed with this almost the same exact name as as the movie, the boat in the movie, and the story was almost exactly how it happened. It was like the guy channeled it, and that's they say that's what happens when people do artsy stuff or whatnot. And I'm wondering about that with negative as well. See, people don't say that, you channel. They never mentioning channeling negative or what that's called. There has to be a word. And that's like when something gets in you and you do. Or maybe that's possession, I don't know. But there has to be something because there can't just be a good. There has to be an opposite. There's always an opposite. It's just harder. The good has to fight. It seems like the bad tries to get in. So it's a constant battle. But Alexa, what are my stickies?
Okay.
Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 10 notes.
It's a constant battle.
First note.
But light always
Invisible
wins.
Man, Wolfman, Titanic.
Alexa, delete
Second
sticky.
note.
The light always wins.
Your last note was Invisible Man,
No matter what.
Wolfman, Titanic.
Turn the other cheek.
Is that the one you want to delete?
Yes.
Okay, I've deleted
Yeah.
that.
If you take your coat, give them your cloak. I think that's what it says in the Bible. Alexa, Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 9 notes. First note, Twilight, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
Alexa,
Second
delete
note,
sticky.
Planet of the Apes, War of
Alexa,
the Worlds,
delete
Michael
sticky.
Crichton. Your last note was Twilight, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
Lord of the Rings and Harry
Is that
Potter.
the one you want to delete?
Yes.
Okay, I've
And
deleted that.
Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. We all know about, what's his name, Daniel Radcliffe, and Harry Potter and all those magical movies, you know, about the, I don't know what they're called, witches and warlocks. I don't know what the names are. They have a whole world there. And then Lord of the Rings is Peter Jackson, of course. And then those are based off of books as well. Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 8 notes.
Okay.
First note, Planet of the Apes, War of the Worlds, Michael Crichton, Frankenstein, Dracula,
Alexa,
Invisible
stop.
Man,
Okay, Planet of the Apes and then War of the Worlds. Those are all books. And then Michael Crichton, he's wrote Jurassic Park, Andromeda Strain, The Sphere, Timeline. He's and they're all movies. Let's see here. Alexa, what are my stickies?
Okay.
Alexa, what are my stickies? Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 8 notes.
Yeah, Andromeda Strain.
First note,
Timeline.
Planet of the Apes, War of the Worlds, Michael Crichton, Frankenstein, Dracula, Invisible Man, Dr. Drago, Mr. Hyde.
Alexa,
Second
stop.
Note, the book.
And then we got Frankenstein, of course, Mary Shelley. And then we got Dracula, Bram Stoker. Those are all books. And then what else there? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, The Invisible Man. I think I mentioned that already. These are all books, and they're good movies. The books are better, but the movies somewhat, uh, somewhat close. Alexa, what are my stickies? I think that might be it. Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 8 notes.
That might be it for best books.
First note, Planet of
Movie
the
books.
Apes, War of the Worlds, Michael Crichton, Frankenstein, Dracula, Invisible Man, Dr. Drago, Mr. Hyde.
Okay.
Second note, the Book of the Acts.
Alexa, delete sticky. Okay.
Your last note was Planet of the Apes, War of the Worlds, Michael Crichton, Frankenstein, Dracula, Invisible Man, Dr. Drago, Mr. Hyde. Is that the one you want to delete?
Yes.
Okay, I've deleted that.
Okay, everybody, we'll be back soon. Like I say, fight fire with water, and love is a choice, and so is the hate.